Welcome to Sun Salutations, modified for beginners. Today you'll just need your mat for practice. We're going to look at Sun Salutation A and really how you can build a strong foundation and take this modified Sun Salutation A into any power or vinyasa class and really honor your needs and modify as you need to. So let's get right in. Okay, so we'll begin with tabletop. This is a hands and knees position. You see tabletop a lot as an alternative for things like plank or downward facing dog. So this is why we're going to start with tabletop. You'd like to look at the hands and just see that the palms can ground. You have the base of the index finger, base of the thumb, base of your pinky finger, and then really the outer edge and inner edge of your wrist all rooting down into the mat. Over time, you'll start to sense a very subtle, like lifting up through the cup of the hand, and then that rising up will start to come into the wrist and into the forearm a bit. So it's not like we're sending all the weight down, right? We're rooting to then experience a rebound up through the hands and up through the arms. Now, as you place these palms grounded like this underneath the shoulders, look to the fingers and see that they can spread wide. You have a bit of rooted sensation also through the fingertips. If you peek under the belly, see that your knees are directly beneath your hips. And then the tops of the feet can just begin to press down as if you're rooting through your toenails. You'll sense that easy rising through the arches of the feet and through the ankles as well. From here, with the limbs balanced and evenly rooted, let's drop the belly, cow pose, inhale, just begin to lift the gaze, lift the tail, and then round the spine, cat pose as you exhale, chin towards chest and tail coming into the body. Again, inhale, cow pose, gaze rises, tail lifts. Exhale, cat pose, really rounding everything in. Press down as you do this. One more time, cow pose, inhale, beginning to connect movement with breath. Cat pose, exhale. Center, tabletop, breathing in, nice long spine. And know that right there, that cat and cow can replace any vinyasa, any sun salutation really, if you're feeling like this is how you need to modify. Some days we may feel like that. Now from here, we'll tuck the toes, lift the knees, come into our first downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. The hands stay the same. And so as you press through the palms, fingers still just pointing in a very similar direction. Most of us it's forward. And then you want to feel how the fingers are spread evenly. There is some rooted sensation through the fingertips. And then you still have index finger mound, mound of the thumb, mound of the pinky, inner and outer wrist pressing down, and that gentle rebounding of the cup of the hand, the wrist, and the forearm. Now the feet can walk back enough that the toes open. The heels do not have to physically ground. However, the heels are energetically reaching. And that allows us to now plug into the legs, straighten the arms, and just allow the head to hang. I'm not going to go into a full breakdown of downward facing dog here, but know that you can always bend your knees. And at any point, if down dog just feels a bit too much, you can lower the knees to tabletop again. Okay? Now if it were down dog, let's inhale slowly, shift forward to plank. We'll try this a few times. Exhale slow, navel towards spine, lift the hips high, downward facing. So this is with your breath. Inhale again to plank, top of a push-up. The hands and feet don't have to move. Keep reaching evenly through the heels. Exhale, belly in, downward facing dog. One more time, inhale plank. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Stay for a breath. And now inhale to plank. And as you feel the heart reaching forward, press through the palms. Arms are strong and straight. Reach the heels back as the toes open. And let's try just lowering one knee down. So if you lower one knee down, your straight leg reaching, heel reaching, heart extending forward. And here, we'd like to even out the weight in the hands. We're not just relying on the actual limbs that are pressing down into the mat, but really focusing on how I can balance the rooted sensations with the rebound, with the lift. So it's cups of the hands. You're going to feel that right arch. or whatever straight leg you have, that arch lifting. And then belly coming in and up. As you inhale, let's return plank, both knees lifted, and slowly exhale, lower your opposite knee. As you breathe, distribute the weight evenly, feel the rootedness, and then the rebounding up for balance. One more breath. Keep that straight leg heel reaching back. And then inhale, let's return to plank, both knees lift. We'll come into our first modified chatturanga. Lower both knees, exhale, bend the elbows back. What follows is the chest and chin coming down. This is sort of an awkward pose. It is a back bend. The bottom is high. We'd like to keep the heart hovering above the floor. Throat is open. We're going to try to come back up, straight arms, inhale. And pause here as you exhale. It feels and looks very similar to tabletop. However, you can see me from the side, my knees are not directly beneath my hips. We'd like to keep the knees back a little bit, so there's a forward shift. Inhale, you can call this modified plank, both knees are down. Exhale to modified chaturanga, the knees are already down, let the chest and chin follow. Let's rise back up, straight arms again, inhale, be sure those palms are flat, and modified chaturanga, exhale. This will be the last one. Heart through the arms for cobra as you breathe in. And so notice I came forward through the arms. That way, when I land, my hands are already in line with my natural waist. You can view me from the side, elbows above those wrists, palms are flat, nothing through the hands have changed. And then here I roll the shoulder heads up. I'm rooting through the tops of the feet, just like I did in table. And then I'm able to engage the legs. Bhujangasana cobra can be really long and low. And we're starting to feel how the back body engages to lift us, back of heart through front of heart. You can always look down. No tension in the neck. No tension in the jaw. And then maintaining this posture, the lift through the chest, the activation through the legs, without clenching your bottom. That way, the base of the spine feels mobile, and we're not feeling a ton of compression just through lumbar, just through that lower spine. Stay for one more inhale, and lower your forehead, exhale. Tabletop, inhale. And typically here, we would return to downward facing dog, but know that at any point you can add in child's pose if you need a moment to rest. Sun salutations. Sometimes when we're first starting out can be a lot on the arms, a lot on the shoulders, so give yourself as many breaths as you need. And then when you're ready, rise again, tabletop. And we'll tuck the toes, lift the knees, downward facing dog. At this point, we're going to try to come to the top of the mat. So bend the knees deep, look forward, inhale. You can also approach from tabletop. We're just walking the feet a little closer towards the hands. If the feet don't quite make it to the hands, know that the hands can also walk back towards the feet. And then we're in a standing forward fold. So if balance is an issue at first, keep the feet apart, frontal hips width, maybe a little more. And then as you inhale to your half flat back, all we're looking for is length through the spine. So this can be fingertips to the ground, hands to the shins, or even hands to your thighs. Inhaling, and then folding forward as you exhale. Inhale again, half flat back. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. This time, root through the feet, circle the arms up. Inhale, Utthita Tadasana, extended mountain. And Tadasana, exhale, arms by your sides, mountain pose. If the feet were apart, now step those feet together. Give yourself a breath. And let's put it all together. We'll try about one breath per movement within a Sun Salutation A flow. So at the top of your mat, feet together. Inhale, reaching up. Utthita Tadasana, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half flat back. Remember, those hands can come up high on the thighs. Exhale. We'll bend the knees, plant the palms, step back. And this can be downward facing dog until you're ready to lower the knees, tabletop. Exhale. Once the hands feel rooted and the arms are strong and straight, let's revisit down dog, tucking the toes, lifting the knees. Inhale. And know that it doesn't have to be that straight leg. Keep the knees bent. On your next breath in, we'll shift forward to plank. Exhale, modifying plank. If you are holding it, it can be one knee down at a time or both knees down. Inhaling. Modifying chatturanga. Exhale, bend the elbows, chin and chest follow. Cobra as you inhale, heart through the arms, nice and slow. Hands are underneath the elbows, roll the shoulder heads up, tops of feet root. Your exhale, lower the forehead. Inhale, tabletop. And exhale to downward facing dog or child's if you need it. And just for time's sake in this video, we'll stay here for one breath in down dog. And then inhale, often in class you hear press, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, start to walk your feet towards your hands. This can be as many steps as you need. Feet together at the top of the mat if you can. Inhale, Ardha, half flat back, maybe hands to thighs. And exhale, Uttanasana, folding. You can always bend your knees. Rise all the way up. Inhale, Utthita Tadasana, grow tall. Arms by your sides. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. So that was a full Surya Namaskara A, modified, or Sun Salutation A. I recommend you take this flow many times as you're first starting out. Really build a solid foundation. Make sure you feel that sense of root in the body because eventually the rebound will come and the breath will start smoothing. It's a lot at first when you're matching movement and breath, so give yourself some grace and take the time you need. Revisit this video as much as you can. After this video, as you're feeling comfortable with this modified Sun A for part 1, in part 2, we'll be looking at sort of the next step up. We'll look at a different version of modified chatturanga. I will introduce upward facing dog to you, and then we'll go from there. And then eventually part 3 will be a breakdown of Sun Salutation B. I hope you enjoyed this. Namaste.